All right, let's get this video started. All right, got the lights. Go. All right, and recording. 1, 2. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Now, do you guys notice anything wrong with this audio clip? Maybe some reverb? Yeah, well, that's because my room is not sound treated yet. Let's fix that. There are many different ways to make your videos look and sound professional. And one of those is actually sound dampening your room or soundproofing. So here's an example of how these sound panels actually work. So let's say you have a bouncy ball, a rubber bouncy ball, and you bounce that on concrete. What's gonna happen? That's gonna bounce. That bouncy ball is exactly what sound waves are. But once you bounce that on a pillow, for instance, that bouncy ball will dampen, or that bouncy ball will actually stop bouncing. And you can put that example along the lines with sound. That sound wave is the bouncy ball. The concrete is a regular wall or anything. And the pillow or blanket is the dampening panel. All right, for the tools and materials, you have a wide range of items that you can use. You are going to need either MDF plywood or 1x3s, either insulation or high density foam, and you're going to need either regular fabric or acoustical fabric. Now, I decided to go with 1x3s for the lumber because that was just easier for me to cut and to move around. Now, for the insulation, you actually have multiple choices. I would prefer, though, going with either recycled denim or making sure you have wood fiber or plant-based insulation. Do not, and I repeat, do not use rock wool insulation if you do not have the proper equipment. It will really harm your lungs and your skin. So I actually ended up using a high density foam, which ended up being a little thicker than my boards. So now I'm gonna have to cut like ½ an inch off, and it's gonna take like 2 hours. But that's the price I have to pay for not really paying attention. So please make sure you get your measurements right. Now for fabric, you are going to be able to have a couple options with this fabric. I went ahead and chose the acoustical fabric route, and I spent $50 on acoustical fabric. Now, you don't have to do that. I just wanted to make sure that these work 100%, but you can actually use any type of fabric as long as you can breathe through it and you can still feel your breath. That means that it is acoustically transparent. And then the small other list of tools you are going to need are a stapler, you're going to need a drill with a countersink drill bit, and you're going to need 2.5-inch screws with some wood glue, some adhesive to adhere the actual foam to the frame, and a lot of staples. You are going to use at least 1 billion staples in this project, so beware. All right, now with that said, I think it is now time to start building the darn thing. All right, now it is a pretty windy day out here in SoCal, so I might end up having to do voiceovers, but right here I have the actual wood for the frame, and I have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Technically, this one isn't screwed in, but I have 4 pieces of wood guiding these pieces just to make it a perfect right angle. I really prefer you guys using a jig or any type of right angle bracket because it is very easy to get right angles wrong, and by the end, your board is gonna be so wonky. So just do this and save the time and just the stress. All right, before we begin, I do want to disclaim that the long side needs to be like this. It needs to be like this, and then the smaller piece needs to be on the inside. This makes sure that you have a good, rigid, and strong piece of board. Okay, let's begin. Just like I thought, the wind was too bad for dialogue, but I did want to say this is what the countersink drill bit does. It makes a little groove for these 1.5-inch screws to go into, and that just makes them really flush because you do not want the fabric getting caught on these bad boys. Looks like we got somebody helping us out here. Not sure if he's actually gonna help, but he's a good watcher. All right, I just got done finishing the final frame, and now I'm going to let the wood glue set and dry for at least 4 to 6 hours. Make sure, because you really want this sturdy. After all those are dry, I sanded down the edges that the fabric is going on just to make sure they do not get caught with any splinters, and now I have all 3 done. Now I also decided to put up a curtain because mirrors on the wall is a very, very big problem if you're trying to sound dampen a room. So let's fix that too. This was really easy to install. All I needed to do was put up these 2 wall anchors and put up the rod, and that was it. All right, it is all done. As you can see, got that mounted up on both sides. This did actually come with a middle anchor that I really actually didn't need. Also, I couldn't put it up there because of the banister, but look at that. That looks so nice. And I can audibly tell a difference. Now, it is slight right now just because I have only one thing up right now, but that mirror was really affecting it, and oh my god, I'm already getting excited. Okay, let's move on to the foam. Okay, so I specifically made 2 of my panels 3 feet long because this piece of foam is 6 feet long, but what I didn't plan on was that this foam is actually 3.5 inches thick, so now I have to cut 1 inch off of it. Nonetheless though, let me get this started because, oh my goodness, this is gonna take a while. All right, all of the foam is now inside of the frames, and this is how much extra I have. Nonetheless, it has been a very productive day. As you can tell, it's dark outside, so I'm gonna get myself some food, some sleep, and tomorrow we are going to finish these and put the acoustical fabric on. Let's get to the next step. So talking fabric, you do not have to go this route, but I ended up spending about 45 bucks on acoustical fabric from ATS. Now the reason I did this was because I actually did use foam, not insulation, so I really wanted to make sure that this worked in any way, shape possible. So if you guys are just using regular fabric, just follow the exact same steps. I also forgot to say, if you do want, you can put duct tape on the corners just as an added extra protection. You never know what may happen if your fabric may rip or whatever. Okay, so since this is the 3-foot panel, I do have a little bit of extra space, so I do want to make sure that I have room right here and right there. Perfect. So I am going to cut probably about right here. And yeah, let's do that. I am using a handy dandy staple gun. Now, if you do have a pneumatic stapler, I would say use that, obviously. But with that, I do have some JT21 staples. These are a little bit thicker, but this is the one that works with my stapler. So let's get stapling. Okay, so the key here is to start off in the middle on one side and find out where that is. Don't put too much pressure just so you don't rip it, and get a staple in like that. There you go. Make sure it's in nice and tight. Make sure to get just another one just to be sure. And then after that, you're gonna start to push outwards and making sure you do not get any wrinkles. Start from going from one side to the other. Okay, so for the corners, this is probably the most difficult part about stapling. You have to make sure these look clean and like you are a pro at it. Now, I kind of know how to do this. I'm basically just stuffing all of the excess fabric under here, and this is basically just going to be flush like that. Now, I'm going to clean it up a little bit before I staple it, but that is basically what's going to look like. Just like that, as you can see, that is a perfect crease right there. So I'm going to repeat that for 1, 2, 3, and those 2. Let's get it. Okay, so this is gonna be my first time looking at it. I cut everything up. Okay. Holy shit. Okay, alright. Alright, okay, that looks fucking phenomenal. That looks so good. So, with that said, let's finish the other two. Alright, day 3 and the final day. I got done wrapping these suckers last night, and now let's get to mounting them. So my plan is to mount one right here, one right there, and then one on the ceiling right here. I am going to make another black one in the future and put that right there, but let's get these suckers placed. Now for my mounting system, I actually went with L brackets because I figured this would be the easiest way to slide these on and off if I needed to replace them or if I wanted to fix them at all. And as you can see, I literally am just sliding it on right here, and I'm also going to be doing that for the 2 other ones. I have another black one that I'm going to be making soon. A haircut and one Amazon purchase later, let me show you how I ended up mounting the ceiling panel. So the problem first arose when I was trying to find the studs on the wall. You see, this is the middle of my room right here. Now, that and that one is where the stud is, not in the middle. So I found some toggle wing ceiling hooks on Amazon, and these I bet are gonna work perfectly. This washer is going to be flush with the wall, so you're really only gonna be able to see the hook, and that just hooks onto the chain, and this little thing, that hooks into the actual panel. All right, just so I don't bore you, here we go. The last one, and boom, there you go. We finally have it on the ceiling. Oh my goodness, look at that. We finally have all of them on. Man, you do not know how long it has been since I've been wanting to put these up. It's been a couple months and I'm finally able to have crisp and clean audio. Oh my god, this sounds so good. Okay, let's go ahead and show you a before and after graph. Now, real quick, here is a demonstration on before and after clapping. You can hear an audible difference. This is drastic. Now, if you guys can't hear a difference, you guys will obviously see a difference with REW, Room Equalizer Wizard. And what that basically does is it shoots sound waves out of a speaker, and that basically records the reverb and the echo-ness of a room. And with my before and after graph, you can tell there is a major difference. Now, I cannot read this graph 100%, but all I can see is that the before and after are majorly different, and that's all I care about. Now, if you guys know what that graph actually means, post down in the comments to let everyone else know, because it's just too confusing for me. With that being said though, I think that's it for the video. I know this was a bit of a longer one, but I honestly like making these because it pushes me to put a lot of effort into them. So if you guys like these more longer content videos, post down in the comments and let me know. Or if you guys want shorter ones, let me know too. I am loving your guys' feedback. With that said, thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.